It is a common question. What foods make depression worse? So let's talk about it. In this video, I'll cover how the foods you eat affect your mood and mental health, including depression. Then I'll cover which foods make depression worse. And last, I'll reveal which foods help you fight depression. Food you eat has consequences. Whether you like those consequences depends on the foods you choose. I've struggled with my weight, but I'm in maintenance now. And anytime I go off plan and eat sugar or crap carbs, I always feel worse mentally, emotionally, and certainly physically. I mean, I have foggy brain and headaches and mood swings. It just annihilates my mental health. I snap at my husband. I get short with my dogs. I have a shorter attention span. I don't even want to get out of bed. Imagine if you suffered from clinical depression and added junk food to all that. Sugar, junk food, and crap carbs cause inflammation in the brain, which is swelling in the brain. It hijacks you chemically and hormonally. You get caught in this vicious cycle where your blood sugar goes up, you feel better for that moment, and then your blood sugar crashes and you feel terrible about yourself and terrible in general. Over and over, you may feel anxious and depressed. If you already struggle with depression, you'll feel even worse because what you eat affects the balance of the chemicals in your brain. It affects your mental health on a cellular level and emotional level. Food is chemically engineered to hijack your brain. You're constantly feeling empty, overfed, but undernourished. That's why we've seen such an increase in mental health issues, as well as obesity and disease. Sugar, grains, processed junk food all make depression worse. You may feel better in that exact moment, but long-term, you feel worse and worse. I mean, these crap foods trigger you to want more crap. You can't stop thinking about it. You feel tired, which causes more sugar and carb cravings. I have made, I think, 11 trips to Europe with my husband so far. We love to travel together. And I'm always so good with my diet. Like the first week, we're gone 2 weeks. And the first week I'm always so good. I stick with my diet, I stick with my water, I stick with my eating times and everything goes well. And then, I taste something that I don't normally have. Something with sugar, something with crap carbs in it. And it just goes downhill. And let me tell you, when I say it hijacks, that's the best word that I can describe what it does to me. It totally hijacks my brain. So if I were to have, a bite of a croissant or a half a croissant or maybe even a full croissant and wash it down with some orange juice, I can't stop thinking about carbs and sugar at that point. So of course I'm not being nourished, so I'm hungry and I don't feel good. My hormones are completely out of whack at this point. And immediately, right after breakfast, we're talking like 30 minutes after breakfast, I start thinking about lunch. What are we gonna eat next? What are we gonna eat next? What are we gonna eat? What are we gonna eat? Maybe I should have a Subway sandwich. Maybe are we gonna have pizza? Are we gonna have pasta? I'm in Italy, and I can't enjoy what we're doing. We're touring churches, we're touring cathedrals, we're seeing these incredible castles and things that are just incredible about Europe, and yet I cannot stop thinking about food. And I'm never like that. It only happens when I have carbs or sugar. So when I say I avoid that stuff, I don't avoid it because I want to see my abs. I mean, yes, that's it. That is one of the factors. I avoid it because I don't want it to control me. And let me tell you, it controls me. It controls everything I think and what I do and how I react to everything around me. Who wants to be a prisoner like that? You are stuck on this vicious cycle until you get the sugar out of your body. So I don't go down that road. Even though I can because I'm in maintenance, I don't. It's awful trying to claw myself up out of that depression. If you're prone to depression, eating sugar and junk food is only gonna make things worse. Job one is cleaning up your diet. When people come to my program, the Code Red Lifestyle, it's amazing what happens. We focus on eating real food, drinking water, and sleeping. Super simple. We're nourishing ourselves on a cellular level, so we actually feel better. This even includes people who have had major depression disorders and that are very challenging. Some people get a lot better, some people get a little better. Sometimes it works better than medication. My dad's a licensed counselor. He'd tell the people that he worked with to clean up their diet because it makes this whole process so much easier. Medication will be more effective and treatment will be more effective. You're fighting an uphill battle, fighting depression while eating junk food because junk food feeds depression. It's like trying to empty a bucket while pouring more into the bucket at the same time. It's astonishing. More mental health providers aren't talking about what you eat. Some even insist what you eat has nothing to do with your mental health. Drug companies don't make money when you're healthy. If nutrition can help you even a little, why wouldn't you try it? You don't need a prescription or an appointment to address your nutrition. So before I go any further, are you feeling kind of brave? Would you share with me your heart and share with me if you have battled depression and how your diet has played a role? I would love to get to know you. I read all your comments. I love it. Comment below. Tell me what's going on with you. It is really astonishing to me that this is not addressed more often. I can't believe that the medical community would ignore nutrition. It's just beyond me. Traditionally trained medical doctors receive less than 15 hours nutrition training in medical school. And what they do learn is outdated. I mean, it's really, medical school is really based on a pill for every ill, more of a pharmaceutical paradigm, and they would rather just prescribe medications. Nobody talks about, are you getting outside and getting sunlight? Nobody talks about what you're eating. Nobody talks about, how are you sleeping? They don't talk about a cool, dark room. They don't talk about wearing blue light blocking glasses if you're gonna be on your device before bed. They don't talk about keeping the room at 66 degrees. They don't talk about the food. And I'm astonished because when our dog is sick, what do? We take our dog to the vet, and the first thing the vet says is, what have you been feeding him? What's he been eating? But we don't get those kind of questions from our doctors. Nobody addresses this issue, and I can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand why this isn't the first thing that we talk about. Like I mentioned, medication can be more effective. A person can have so much more success with managing their depression if they could have a clean diet. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a licensed medical provider like the one that you might be working with. And like I mentioned, my dad's a counselor and I've spoken with him extensively about this. And we have emotional eating and we have programs that kind of address the more mental side of weight loss if you want to check those out on our website. But if you are receiving medical attention from a medical provider with regard to your depression, I highly urge you to try out Code Red in addition to this. Make sure that you stay in touch with your medical provider as you lose weight to possibly have your dosage adjusted, if that is a factor. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a medical provider, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that as you lose weight, you're not gonna possibly need as much medication. Possibly it has to do with your weight. Maybe a bigger person needs more meds. Now you're not a big person anymore. You might need less meds. I don't know. But it's best to always, always, always stay in touch with your medical provider when you are going through a nutrition program, going through Code Red, making a lifestyle change, making a diet change. Always let him or her know what's going on. And that way they can incorporate that in your treatment plan. On the 10-pound takedown challenge, spend 30 days getting off junk food and focusing on real food, water, and sleep. You'll hear more about what foods to eat and what foods to avoid when you join the challenge, because I'm gonna give you a list that's clear. This side don't eat, this side eat. I tell you, it's so clear. It's so easy to follow. So join our next challenge. I've linked it up below. And you know what? See for yourself if your depression gets better. I'll see you on the next video. Whether you like those consequences depends on the food. Whether you like those consequences. Oh, okay. I mean, I've got foggy brain and headaches and mood swings. Annihilates. Sugar, junk food, and crap carbs that cause inflammation in the brain that cause, let me do it again. You may feel anxious and depressed. You're constantly feeling empty. Oh. Who wants to be a prison like that? Who wants to be a prison? No. Who wants to be a prisoner? Some people get a lot better. Some people get a litter bear. Okay, how's that?
11:30.
All right, let me wind it up.